So I don't really know what I'm doing here, how to be a really good, effective talking head. But I want to start learning, and I'm told the best way to start learning sometimes is to just start doing. So here I am on your screen, kind of rambling without any sort of a script. I've got a little outline here, but we're just going to go with that. So I'm going to start being this kind of talking head because I really have a lot of ideas that I want to start getting out there. And I want to get these ideas out there faster than what I'm able to do with the very highly edited, meme-filled, produced, scripted videos that I have been doing over on my YouTube channel. For this, I want to have more of a kind of video log to keep a lot of you all up to date with some of the ideas and concepts and businesses that I've been exploring, and to really kind of get these ideas out there so that I can hopefully inspire some of you all to pick up and iterate on some of these ideas. And also because I'm looking for help. I want to know who else out there has tried these kinds of things so that we can start to connect and be more in community with one another, because boy howdy do we need to be in a time of building community. I feel like I've been in a position for the last couple of years to be a bit of a pioneer. I was able to do a lot of pioneering at my old job at Meow Wolf with some different systems for interactivity that I had the pleasure of being on really great teams to work within. And once again, right now, with this project called 505OMATIC that some of you all may have heard of, some of you all probably have not yet until you're watching this video, which is a journalism collective, a journalism cooperative, really, here in New Mexico, covering a whole lot of local issues. It's something that was started because there was not really great information ecosystems, especially on platforms like this, for things that have to do with New Mexico specifically. And I've definitely been seeing that to be true these last 6-7 years. And so we're trying to fill in a gap, and based on the reactions and the audience growth that we've been having and the very real effect on some various political issues and movements that have been happening here in New Mexico. For those of you all who have been following, you may have noticed that you're not really seeing that many reporting videos from me on the 505OMATIC feed because, well, I'm the Secretary Treasurer for this thing, as I have been Secretary Treasurer also for the Meow Wolf Workers Collective, the union that I started. We'll save that story for another time. But in order for us to be this new kind of thing, a little journalism cooperative has taken a lot of administrative things that you have to do. You know, there's taxes. I'm actually running payroll now. And one of my favorite things is paying people. I really love the fact that so many of you all have been giving money to this organization, or things that we've been earning either through our subscriptions, through grants, or contracts, because I'm able to take that money and pay people to go out and report on stories here in New Mexico, here in Santa Fe, down in Albuquerque. We've got people that are also all the way down in Doña Ana County. Hopefully we'll be able to expand out to the Four Corners and down to the southwest, Arizona border as well over time. But to do those kinds of things, it takes money. To build infrastructure, it takes money. For us to afford legal fees so that we can get our employment contracts together, especially in the very not typical way that we are trying to run this organization, again, as a cooperative where people are earning also some checks in their pocket. They're also going to be earning equity in this thing. I mean, I'm going to also just be completely transparent in that three of us who are elected executives within this organization have not been taking any pay for the most part since the beginning of this thing, all the way back in December of 2024. We established the business as an actual business late in about April 2025. I mean, if you all go back to the very first video that 505OMATIC ever did, you'll see that it actually features me, who was at that time Secretary Treasurer of the Meow Wolf Workers Collective, who was also just laid off from that company during the last round of major layoffs that happened at the company. And so from there, I joined the organization because I too wanted to participate in the kind of storytelling and the kind of highlighting of issues that are affecting all of us. I mean, the thing that I realized while I was working at Meow Wolf, and that I definitely see in the years after being pushed out of there, is how there's nothing unique happening within that management structure, within that private equity structure, that's not happening everywhere else in the and everywhere else in the country right now. I almost called it a company because there are so many people who have voted for the people so that they can run this place like a company. And if you look around, and if you have any experience within the large corporate machine now, you definitely are seeing the ways that the country is being run like a company into the ground, except for a small number of people at the very top who will be benefiting from the demise of things. So, big part of what's important to me about 505OMATIC is that we do not fall victim to a lot of the tropes that collectives and organizations are prone to fall to over time, especially once things like money and power come into play, and when there are the potential schisms that can happen because you all didn't establish what it is that you were about from the very beginning. But I've done a lot of work to make sure that at 505OMATIC we have set ourselves up from the beginning to have a good understanding of what it is that this cooperative, this collective is about. What are the agreements that we have with each other, and what are the agreements and rights and responsibilities that we have with the organization? And that too are going to be some of the things I would love to get into in some future videos. One of the other things that was important with 505OMATIC at the time was asking the question, what can I do in a 5-mile radius to help? That actually was something that I came up with for myself directly after the election, before joining 505, after realizing how little effect all of the Democratic political machine seemed to have on the outcome of the election, and all of the energy and all of the fights that are occurring are happening over in the walls of Congress, 1,000, 2,000 miles away from where it is that I am. I was asking myself the question directly after the election, if I can't do anything about what's 1,000, 2,000 miles away, what can I do within a 5-mile radius to help? I mean, I live in the capital of the state of New Mexico. Very large state in terms of land, in terms of the effect that it can have on political and environmental and social issues. And a thing I've been learning about over the last year or two is actually how much of a pioneer New Mexico has been in the field of labor and healthcare reproduction. And most recently with this lawsuit against Meta, where they won $375 million. You hear more about the California lawsuit that's only $3 million, but I digress. That's going to be a topic for another video I'd love to get into. But what this organization, for me, what it is that drives me to be a part of it is knowing that I can have some sort of an effect in a 5-mile radius on the politicians and on the organizers and the business leaders and the families, parents, students, working people that live within this community and live on just the outskirts of this community because they can't afford to live directly here in Santa Fe. What is it that we can do to become more resilient here at a local level? And I'm seeing that pattern repeated throughout the country. You're seeing that pattern repeated throughout the world. In fact, we're actually late to the game in many ways. You're looking at some of the protests that have been in the, Asia and South Pacific, and, ways that people are coming together in all sorts of countries. And we're just ourselves here in America just now starting to catch up. But you're seeing sort of the effect of it with a lot of the political wins that have been happening over the last couple of weeks, particularly with Democratic Socialist candidates and DSA-backed candidates, DSA-endorsed candidates. A lot of those ideas that we've been fighting for are starting to really break through in the national sense and also break through in the political sense through real, actual, tangible votes. So I'm just jumping on that train, or rather making my announcement on a train that I too have been on for a while, and seeing what I can do to contribute the ideas, the infrastructure, the concepts that we're trying to build here in 505OMATIC, and spread to more of you all out there. So just to wrap this up, hopefully I can keep on some sort of a habit with uploading a video here for you all, maybe like once a week or so. And as I said, just cataloging some of what my experience has been and what are some of the projects and things I'm up to, so that I can get some feedback from you all, and I can hopefully inspire you to try some of this stuff out on your own. Until then, I'll be seeing you. Thanks for listening.